and welcome to the Energy Within podcast with Shalyn and Catherine, where we talk about womanhood, motherhood, spirituality, and more.
On today's episode, we are going to be talking about romanticizing your life in your feminine energy and your romantic life in general, how to balance masculine and feminine, and it's just some good stuff, some really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're excited.
Naturally. Always so excited. So, what I want for our viewers and everybody to know with this episode is how you can embody certain kind of energy to not in a way manipulate.
No.
We don't want manipulation, but just maybe gentle guidance.
Yeah.
A gentle guidance of things to create the life that you want to create.
Yes. And we will
within your relationship.
We will explain what that means as we go through the episode.
Yeah.
But basically.
So
stay with us.
That's the gist of
for
it.
a couple places. But it will all make sense in the end and it will all come together.
Yeah.
So first things first, to start this conversation, I want to go back just a little bit and re-ground you in the ideas of what masculine energy and feminine energy is within everybody's body. And so we all have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. Remember that whether you are a man or a woman or a non-binary person in a relationship, a truly good, balanced relationship means that someone will have hypothetically more masculine energy and the other person will have more feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
So the masculine energy within all of us has a main goal and a main fear, and as does the feminine energy. So the masculine energy's main goal, main purpose, main thing they strive for in life is to be respected and accepted and appreciated. That is all the masculine energy wants in its whole life, is to be that by everyone.
Yeah, they want to know that they are good enough as they are.
Yes,
kind of
exactly. Because their greatest fear is that they aren't good enough.
Yeah, in some form.
Yeah, nothing they do is good enough, and the masculine energy is terrified of critiques and of being shamed in any which way.
Yeah.
And so the feminine energy's main goal is to be loved and cherished and accepted for who she is and exactly as she is.
Mm-hmm.
And her greatest fear is to be unseen, unloved, abandoned, and all of those things. So they really do work hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we as people, as human beings, have both inside of us, which I'm sure you can see now that I've said that. So keep those 4 facts in mind with you as we run through this and probably every episode for forever.
Yes.
So the first thing before we really get into the meat of this episode is I want you to kind of ground into your feminine intuition. Mm-hmm. As we were going through preparing the notes for this, I had a lot of big feelings come up because I've had a relationship or 2 in my life, and there was two. And there's been a lot of insights. I had a lot of insights writing down the notes for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some signs that maybe if I'd had this episode earlier, I might have made some different choices. So yeah, really just listen to your intuition. And if you feel like something in your gut or your mind or your heart or your soul is telling you something is wrong, it's because something is wrong.
Yep.
So
yep. Your body always knows.
Yeah.
Always knows. Your body knows before your brain knows.
Mm-hmm. So as feminine beings, as people with divine feminine energy and people with more feminine cores within themselves, it is important to give space to the masculine entities in our life, in our relationships, so that they can do the things that they need to do. Now, that doesn't mean that every masculine person in your life will step up to the plate, but this is how you can make room for that.
Yes.
And embody your femininity in the process.
Yes.
So the first thing first is let him feel needed. Let the masculine feel needed and wanted and desired. If you constantly act strong, independent woman, tough, don't need a man, that is not helpful for the masculine energy.
No, it's going to push them away, if anything.
Yes.
They're like, oh, she doesn't need me. I'll go somewhere else to where I am needed.
Yeah. And if you are, let's use the term too needy, because that's a term everybody is going to recognize, and that man will still run away, that man is doing you a favor by stepping out of your life. Let him run away. He cannot be that one for you.
Yeah.
If you're too much, it's too much for him.
Yeah.
As they say, he can go find less. So let that man, let that masculine energy partner in your life know that they are needed and wanted, and the correct one will
rise to the occasion.
Very well said.
Yeah. So another thing with for like embodying feminine energy is that it's vulnerable, it's open, it's spacious. So you want to drop your masculine shield, so like your strong independent woman kind of shield. You can let it go around the right masculine energy. You don't need to be in that energy all of the time. You can just like drop it and let it go and let them like kind of be that shield for you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You don't have to do it all with the right partner.
Exactly.
And so letting them really step into that will make space for that. You need to create space, right? Like if you sleep in the middle of your bed, spread open like a starfish, there's no room for anyone else to lay with you. So yeah, make space for someone else to provide for you.
Yeah.
And knowing who is going to be able to provide the consistency that you need and things like that does require some experimenting, but
also,
yes,
I do want to say being provided for, there's more ways than just physically provided for.
Yes.
You also need to be emotionally and mentally and spiritually provided for.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah, we don't mean money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just money or material things. It's
yes.
bigger than that.
Good. I didn't even think to like say that, but that was a really good note. So yes, that's we don't mean just like this financially supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Because some men will think that that's what we mean.
Exactly.
And we don't mean that. We need
more.
Yeah.
We actually need more.
Surprisingly.
No.
Back to
I'm not surprised.
Well, we are not surprised.
We're supposed to be open and receiving, right? Give me more. Give me more.
Give me all of it, actually. Back to our point. The point, that was a great interruption. Thank you for that. But back to what I was saying is not to test, but to provide opportunity to the masculine energy people in your life is you need to make sure that they are safe and reliable for you to be vulnerable and open up to.
Exactly.
Because as you said when we were preparing our notes this morning, we can't just be opening up to everyone.
No.
Because that is just, it's good to be open and vulnerable.
Yep.
But not in the insane degree where you can just like welcome hurt in at all times.
Yes. Yeah, because what you're actually doing is you're open and vulnerable, but then somebody's going to take advantage of that in their own little messed up way, and then that's going to cause wounds for your feminine. So you want to just be cautious, but also open, and you just kind of slowly further and further kind of open up more.
Yeah. Don't go on your first date and be like, this is the person I'm going to marry. Make sure that they are the kind of person that you want to marry.
Yeah.
I know and I'm projecting here, and I'm going to be really personal for a second, but like if I feel a connection with someone, I'm like, this is the person. Oh my God, this is a great connection. This must be the connection.
Yeah.
And it just turns out that actually I'm an amazing person to be in a relationship with.
Yes.
So I think that it's the relationship.
Yeah, you almost get like excited for their potentiality.
Yeah. And
because you can see it.
But I love potential so much that I think I like put all of my eggs into the basket of the potentiality rather than figuring it out if this is the basket for my eggs.
If this is the actual basket.
Yes,
we have a dream basket.
Yeah.
We have a real life basket. Where can I put my eggs?
And sometimes we can just like borrow a basket for a couple roads.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the basket forever. Anyway, we're getting off track here with this metaphor. How to see if your basket is the basket. Step number 1. Observe their consistency. Are they consistent with the things that they say they're going to do? Do they show up on time? Do their actions match their words? Obviously, people are human. Things happen. Give leeway. Allow someone to make mistakes. But if the mistakes are greater than the consistency, that is a red flag. And that's really all we're talking about here is red flags. And eventually the red flags pile up so much that it's like, okay, this is a sign that something is wrong and something is off. So just watch out for that.
Yeah, for me, actions speak way louder than words.
Absolutely.
Almost words are like this much, but your actions and follow through are actually this much more important to me. And I am observant in that. So like if I see you do something and it doesn't match up with what you said or what have you, like I'm very observant with actions. Actions are huge.
Yes. So yeah, if people aren't like sticking to their commitments, sometimes people need reminders, and that's okay too. I'm not saying it has to be all or nothing. It's not black and white.
Yeah.
But there is a certain point when someone, and I'll use gendered terms here for a second, but if he is constantly saying, I want this, I want to do this with you, but he's not making any moves forward in that, it's very clear he just likes how it feels when he says those things. He likes feeling or thinking about being the person that would do those things, but he doesn't actually want the follow through or the potential consequences or the responsibility of it. And that is just something to watch out for. Actions speak louder than words. It's cliche, but it's very true.
It's very true.
It's very true.
Yeah. It's the energy and your intention behind your actions, right?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like truth telling for me. Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
what it is.
So to test that, to offer an opportunity for them to prove themselves, you can ask for little acts of service. It doesn't have to be big things. You don't say, take me to Paris, and they don't take you to Paris. That doesn't mean they're not the one.
How dare they?
I know.
I say take me to Paris and you don't? Do you even love me?
Do you even love me? Do you even like me? I knew that would trigger you.
Yeah.
Little acts of service and see how they react to those things. Do they show up for you? And if they can't show up for you, how do they behave when they can't show up for you? Do they brush it off? Do they try to make amends? Do they try to replace it with a different thing? Things like that. The next really important thing to do is to set boundaries and see how they react to that thing. So if you are in a fight with a partner, for example, and you say, I need a minute, I need you to let me breathe, I need some space, just give me 5 minutes to calm down, and that partner doesn't immediately go, okay, I hear you, and gives you that space, instant red flag. I would dare say walk away from that relationship immediately. Because if that person that you're supposed to be with, who is supposed to love you, can't give you a few minutes just to like calm so that you don't say something you don't mean, that means that their ego is more important than your mental state at the time. So set little boundaries, and then
see
over
how
time,
they respect them.
If they respect them at all, and how they respect them, and if the respect remains consistent. Because I find in relationships that I've had with men specifically that things can be good for 2 days, and then it'll revert back to the old ways.
Just like slowly decline back down.
So also watch that. And it's not that we're doing it to be tricky or bad or anything. It's just making sure that we're sharing ourselves with the right person. And that they're safe for us.
Because femininity is about vulnerability.
Speaking of vulnerability,
a niche initiates those kind of conversations. So if you have a thought on your brain and it's feeling really vulnerable, open up to him, and see how they go about it. Do they come in there with you? Are they vulnerable also? Or do they just kind of like shut it down and just like brush it off, sort of a thing? So just like pay attention to those things, and then again pay attention to how their reactions and responses to what you bring up makes you feel. If it's feeling inward, then question it. If it feels outward and okay, and like yes, they met you there, then lean into that, right? Lean in, lean out. Use your discretion.
And your intention, and really be in your body and be in your heart, and like we said, like going back to that intuition, like if your body is saying, oh, why wasn't that right? Just focus in on that and see if it's him that wasn't right. Was it the environment that wasn't right? Was the timing that wasn't right? And
or even something else too, right? Like sometimes things will be going on within your own body that have nothing to do with him or them, but it's still like bringing up that shit for you. So see if it's where it's coming from, and if you can kind of move it through yourself. If you do feel vulnerable with it, maybe they can help you and like support you on your healing journey of whatever that is, right? Like just be open. They should be able to like take your hand and be like, I got you.
One of the things about true divine masculine energy is that masculine wants to fix. They want to save, they want to provide, they want to protect. And so sometimes the masculine can feel like a failure, and they will shame themselves, which is not what they need. And they will shame themselves so that they then can't step into their own vulnerability and then help you further. So
Yeah.
the masculine needs to understand that sometimes just this is all you need.
Yeah.
You just need them to hold space
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Just listen.
And
I don't need you to fix this right now.
Yeah.
I just want you to listen.
Yeah.
And be okay with what I have to say.
So like if you have the capability in those moments, communicate that with the masculine partner and be like, hey, I need to get this off my chest. It has nothing to do with you. I just need you to sit here with me and hear my words.
Yeah.
You don't need to fix this.
Yeah.
And if you need them to fix it, communicate that. Say, here's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Give me advice. Give me a solution. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah.
So that they know how to be there for you.
Yeah.
And show up for you. They don't have to guess.
Yeah, they're not mind readers.
Yeah.
Nobody's a mind reader. You have to.
Despite how nice that would be.
I know, right? Convey your needs.
Yeah. Help
you
him.
Need space.
Help you.
Do you need help?
Another really, really important one is to gauge how he reacts in emotional situations. What is his emotional regulation like? If something goes wrong, say he's planned an amazing day for you. Something goes wrong, how does he react to that?
Yeah. Is he freaking the fuck out?
Is he freaking out? Is he getting mad? Is he taking it out on you?
Is he calm and collected, saying like, "Oh, we'll figure it out"?
Yeah. Is he driving erratically? Things that can be intense red flags. Like, obviously, we all.
How do they feel in your body?
Yeah. Obviously, everybody gets mad, and I'm not saying he has to be this pillar of perfection and he can't ever have an emotional outburst.
No.
But how does he recover from those emotional outbursts?
Yeah.
What does he do with his big emotions? And how does that make you feel in your big emotions?
How does he show up for you in your feminine waves? So obviously, women go through waves of emotion depending on where they're at in their cycle, what's going on in their body. Like we feminine female women are very emotional beings. So if he can't have you on your shittiest luteal day, if that's too much for him, and he only wants your sexy, fun ovulation time, like how like he should be able to meet you at both of those points, whether you're in the shit of your luteal phase or way up high on your queen pedestal ovulation time. Like where is he matching your energy?
Yeah.
And is he supporting you in that way that you need it at that time?
And does he have patience for you?
Does he have patience
when you can't? Because men, masculine energy works on a 24-hour cycle, whereas feminine energy works on not a moon cycle.
Not.
So can he have that patience for you? And this again is not to say he can't have frustration, but he can't take that frustration out on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also for me, this is kind of something I've learned of relationships in time as well, is like I personally would need a masculine partner who he doesn't have to know everything about the menstrual cycle or anything like that, but I need him to like not be ew when I'm bleeding.
Yes.
I need him to like, if I say I am full like lutealing right now and I just cannot do A, B, C, and D, I need him to be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And not like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I would look for in a masculine partner.
All I have to do is say I'm lutealing today, and they know exactly what to do and really good holding space.
Yeah.
What do you need?
A couple quick final ways to test the masculine is to encourage him to take initiative. Say, plan a date night. Does he rise to the occasion? Does he take responsibility for it, or does he brush it off? And also pay attention to how he speaks about the people in his life. Does he speak with compassion? Does he speak with judgment? Does he speak with understanding? Things like that. How he speaks about the people when they're not around is really, really important and says a lot about him as well. And does he take a genuine interest in you, who you are in your core, and in your life? There have been lots of cases in my life where I have been in relationships with people and I will get super duper into the things that they are passionate about because I want to, I love them, I support them, I want to be involved in their lives. And it's been very few and far between where they have actually stepped into my world as well and given me what I'm giving them. So that's also a thing. He doesn't have to love your favorite show, but it would be nice if he sat beside you and watched it with you sometimes, kind of a thing.
I do think that's a sidebar. That's kind of like a boy thing, though. Like I like knowing about the things that they're interested about because I love seeing them light up.
Yeah.
About the things that they're passionate about. So I like I like seeing that. So that's kind of why I like invest myself in their interests.
Yeah.
But it should also be reversed,
Yeah.
right? So they should be showing interest in what you're doing and your life and whatever interests you have going on, so that they can see you light up.
Yeah. And the right partner will love that about
Exactly.
you as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's a huge green flag.
Green flag.
Green flag. And then the final test, challenge. Opportunity for proof is to sit with them and have a deep conversation. And
Deep
ask the big questions. Where do you see this going? What are your values?
Yeah.
What are your intentions with me? And if that man gets up and runs, that is not the man. That's it. Like that. Like it's
done.
It's the simplest test, and it's the most important test, but you can't do it first because you can't say those kinds of things on the first date. I mean, you can. You do whatever you want, but give him some time. Give the masculine some time to also feel safe with you as well. So that's kind of the big test, yeah. And just what does he want, and can you meet the needs that he wants to be met as well? Because his needs also matter.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there as well. So that was a lot on how to like give the masculine opportunities. Some final quick points here on how to show up in your feminine relationships romantically is to create space for that masculine, like I said. Allow him to, as you said this morning, which I really loved this idea, take his armor off. Can he walk in and take his armor off with you and sit down and breathe? Are you a safe place for him? That is so unbelievably important.
Yeah.
And it's such like that nurturing aspect of your femininity will allow his masculine to then nurture you back and provide for you, and it's all going to work together in this swirling motion that we love so much. So very, very important.
That's such powerful energy. So like I can literally picture like him like coming home, taking off his shoes, right? And you just go like, "Hey, baby," and then you're just like, you just take him in. Like he's done so much for himself and his career, and for you, and all of the providing and everything, and you're just open and appreciative of all the work that they're doing.
Yeah. Going back, do you remember my cave analogy? I know you think my cave analogy is so funny about the caveman and the woman and her being like, okay, you'll have to go back to an episode about the cave thing. But imagine, okay, the man finally gets up and he goes and he hunts for the deer and he brings it back to the cave. And imagine the difference that man would have to go back and out hunt again if the woman is like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you so much." Versus, "You got that kind of deer? Are you kidding me? That's not big enough." Right? Like that.
Such an energy shift.
Cool. You will get two different men out of that scenario.
Two different men.
Right?
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah.
And then it is really, really important to allow that man, to the masculine energy, to let him lead. So you can present him with the opportunity to make a date night, for example, and then whatever he plans is what he plans. And we don't critique, and we be grateful, and we don't shut it down.
Yeah, you drop the control.
Yeah.
Drop the control.
Because the second you critique, he will never do that again.
He says, "I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I can't do that good enough."
Yes. And you can provide some feedback in a positive way. I'm not saying don't give feedback ever.
I'm thinking tacos. Can you find a taco place?
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Just it's tacos either way.
Yeah. And he will get better as he gets more opportunities.
Exactly.
And if he doesn't, then sit him down and have one of those deep conversations to test it or provide opportunity for it.
Yes.
But also be playful and sensual, be fun, step into your femininity, really, really be in your feminine.
My favorite is just dancing in the kitchen. My favorite thing to do. I've been dancing in the kitchen a lot, and that's my favorite thing. And if my husband is there who hates dancing, I will dance with him regardless because it's fun for me. And I just hold his hand and I lead myself with his arm, and I'm spinning myself around and holding on to him. He's not moving. I'm moving him. Because he won't dance with me, but I want to dance.
Yeah.
Fun and playful, and it's for me. I'm just bringing you along with me, whether you like it or not.
See, exactly. Be feminine for yourself.
Yes. So we are feminine beings, and we need to remember to do it for ourselves first. That is the most important thing, I think. is to be it for yourself, because when you are in that energy that you love yourself, that you know that you are worthy of yourself, and that you are worthy of all of the love that you have for yourself, and you're just in love with yourself and who you are, and then that energy exudes and it pours out into every single thing that you do, whether it's your passions, your work, your children, your partners, everything. It just overflows. It's like the classic fill your own cup. When you are full of your cup of the love that you have for yourself, it just pours out, and you know that you're worthy and that you can be open because you give everything that you want for yourself first. We're not performing. You're not performing for other people. You are just being you in every moment that you possibly can, and embodying it and just like knowing it in your bones how fucking awesome you are and just live from that.
And that act alone will help attract the right kind of partners.
Everything. It attracts everything.
She's very passionate about this.
Oh, that energy is so big. Energy is so big. You were just saying how about like, oh my gosh, this deer, right? Versus that fucking deer. Do you hear? Do you feel the shift?
The difference.
There's such a difference. It's just like, oh, I don't want any of that. I just brought you a fucking deer. You kidding me?
Do you know how hard it was to get that deer?
Do you know how hard it was? How many fucking arrows I shot? I have to go make more arrows now, and you're not even grateful that I got a fucking deer for us? Energy is massive.
Yes.
And it's so important.
So embodying your feminine for yourself, not performing. We are not feminine to fulfill a status quo or anything like that. It is who we are. It is inside of us.
Be it.
Yes. So how to do that?
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Do not worry about people pleasing. Do not worry about avoiding conflict, right? When I said that thing about test that man and ask him what his intentions are, I know a lot of us just went, oh, but what if he gets mad?
Yeah.
Then he's not the man.
Nope.
Then get out of my
room.
Get out of my house. Get out of my way. Get out of my life.
Yeah.
You're not it, buddy.
You know what you want. This is turning into feminine rage.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so we're not people pleasing, because when we are people pleasing, that means we are allowing people to treat us in a way that is not how we really want to be treated.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the other thing too. So like when you set your own boundaries and you show your own self-respect, then it sets the precedent for other people, right? So then they have to treat you the way that you treat yourself. Yes. And that's massive.
You have to be authentic in who you are and what you want, so that inauthentic people are not coming into your life. That's it. And mic drop. We could walk away right there, but we have some more points for you.
So many more points.
So create safety for yourself. Create safety for yourself in your body, in your heart, in your mind. Do your therapy, take care of yourself, etc., etc.
Grounding, energy work.
So that when people come into your life and they do not align with who you are and what you want, you can just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you're in the wrong box."
Yeah, or you just leave.
Yeah, okay, that's also an option.
I love that move. Just, I'm gonna go now. I don't want to be here anymore. Bye.
Well done.
And then people notice that.
Yes,
they notice that shit.
And it can inspire them to do it themselves as well in their own lives.
Exactly.
I was saying to Shalyn when we were prepping this episode, I hope but don't hope that this episode inspires some people to break up with their shitty boyfriend.
Or at least just kind of like have a real moment with yourself. It's just like, is this the relationship that I want? Yeah. Also, astrologically, there we go. This week is really good for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's week.
It's Valentine's week. The full moon in Leo. There's some big fiery look at me energy.
Step into it. Step into it.
I am.
And be the queen. Be the queen of your own life.
I love that.
This is the final point. This is the final point we're going to leave you with. This is the final
point.
Yes. Live your life with grace and confidence. Would a queen let a man or a masculine person treat her that way? No. She'd probably cut his head off. I'm not saying cut people's heads off.
Hell no.
Obviously. But is that man adding to your kingdom, adding to your life, building it up, or is he depleting your resources? Is he draining you and things like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Is he crossing the room to come see you on your throne?
Mhm.
Or is he telling you, hey, come here?
Yes. Yes. And joining you.
Yeah.
And building with
And
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is he an addition to you,
An
your kingdom, and your
addition.
life? And yeah, choosing that man.
Yeah.
And not making that man. Don't make the man
Don't
your
make
kingdom.
him your kingdom.
No.
Don't make him your kingdom. You build your own kingdom, and he just comes along for the ride.
We're very passionate.
They should amplify and be an addition to your life, right? Not the center of the world, not your kingdom. They should help make your kingdom brighter and help make your kingdom bigger, because you see it that way, and then they put in the work to provide you with that bigger tower in your kingdom and genuinely want to help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yes.
They shouldn't be filling in the gaps of your own misplaced self-love.
Yes. You, your friends, your children, if you have them, your pets, your hobbies, that should be like the truth of your kingdom. Yes. And then it is nice to have a hot guy beside you or a hot girl beside you. Or
whatever. However, your kingdom does not represent your worth. Mm-hmm. You're the queen. You are worthy first, and everything else is just a byproduct of your worthiness and awesomeness.
And awesomeness. Yeah, awesomeness. Yeah.
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 Yes. Nothing external. You're just it.
And that is what we have for you today. A very important message. Boom! Go forth and take that into
very important message.
What you will with it. Thank you for joining our conversation today about being feminine in relationships. It got a little heated there.
It did, but we were passionate.
It's good.
And authentic.
We were very authentic.
And
it was good.
We fucking owned it. So when I get more passionate, I start swearing.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So do I. Okay, so anyways, thank you so much for joining our conversation. We would love to hear your passion and your empowering thoughts in the comments, wherever you may be listening and or watching this.
You can find us at the Energy Within podcast, and that's on all platforms, of course. Our next episode is going to be fun. It's going to be about like libido and sexy time.
Yep.
I think.
Yes, like natural ways to like increase your libido and step into it.
Yeah. How do I step into it? I actually learned some acupressure points to help libido and stuff, so I thought that would be really good.
Stay
really
tuned. Come back.
Yeah. So happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day when you're listening to this. And we will be back in 2 weeks.
Again, thank you for watching, and we hope that you see your power and your magnificent energy